Good morning, good evening, good night. Welcome to Idle Talk Mini. Today we're going to talk about Mando season finale. Let's just jump fucking into it because you with your boy Fabian and you know how it be. So we start off with exactly what we left off in the last episode where Bo-Katan made a hole and they're running through the hallway and then you see Axe Woes, the guy from the last episode from Bo-Katan's crew, flying up in the air to go get reinforcements. So while Axe is getting reinforcements, we jump back to Bo-Katan and the Mando's running away from the troopers down the hallway. This is a really cool scene because Bo-Katan like plants a bomb on the rock and then she like jetpacks and then the fucking shit explodes. It's like and then we get back to Din being dragged away by the troopers that he was caught by last episode, and I really fuck with the scene because if you ever seen like Netflix's Daredevil, it's a really old show, but they had like this one famous scene in it where it's like a hallway scene and Daredevil's like fighting in the dark, really fucking dope. But this scene really reminded me of that, where like Mando's being captured, he's being dragged, and then he like cuts the rope with a blade, and then he starts stabbing holes and like rolling around and stuff, and like it's mad fucking. It's like one of the coolest. We finally get to see Mando being a badass again. It's just straight murking dudes, bro, in this hallway, and it's so dope. He's like rolling around, kicking them and stabbing them and shit. I'm like, yeah, okay, John Wick, get it, bro. So while he's rolling around fucking up all these guards, he gets kind of like captured or like beaten. So he's fucking him up, and then he gets a rope on his neck, and he's getting choked the fuck out by the trooper. And then Grogu, the adorable little dude, comes through and saves him. He like grabs a gun that the blaster that the trooper was about to shoot his daddy with, and he breaks it. He just fucking uses the little robot strength and just fucks that thing up. Just. And then after he saves his dad, he immediately starts shooting up the Bacta spray that the original IG-11 used in season 1 to heal Din after like the big explosion in the like bounty hunter base. And you know what I'm talking about if you've seen season 1. And it's really funny, like the callback where like, so he's hurt, and then his son just comes through and it's like spray the thing all over it. I was like, he's like, yo, I'm good, bro, chill. It was really funny to watch. And then from there, they have a really cute moment together where he's like, Grogu, I need your help. We gotta take down Gideon, or else he's never gonna stop coming for us. And I was like, damn, bro, they man fucking cute together. From here, we jump back to Bo-Katan and the rest of the Mandos running away from the troopers, and then Din calls in to Bo-Katan and is like, yo, I'm with the baby. I'm going after Moff Gideon. And she's like, word, I stay safe. And he's like, yo, you too. And so then he takes a jetpack from one of the troopers that he just like one of the like Beskar troopers that he just took the fight with, and then she and her group find a little hole in the ceiling, and they all just jetpack out, and you're like, whoa, that's sick. As they're flying away, we have another shot where like you see all the Imperials getting in their TIE fighters, and like I love the way it drops. It's kind of, they look like kind of like bats where the ships are like hanging upside down, and then they drop down, and they're like, New! Shows fire. So yeah, then we got that scene, and we got a scene where like Gideon's like in a like his like I guess throne. No, it's not even a throne room. It's more like a conference room where there's like a big hologram type shit. We're here to just basically for the trooper to be like, oh, we launched the ships, the TIE fighters are, and he's like, all right, cool, but the Mando and the baby are still on board. I can see on this map, right? And he's like, but don't worry, I'll take care of them. And you know what? I'm getting sick of Gideon, bro. Like, he was a good villain for season 1, but like, we still bringing this motherfucker back. I'm like, if we bring him back up again, I'm gonna lose my mind. But again, so he puts his helmet on and he starts looking for Din. Well, not even looking because he has a tracker. He just starts heading towards him. Here we got a really cool scene where not Grogu. Din is communicating with R5 on a ship, which again, sick because he's supposedly the droid hater, and he's like, yo, can you do me a fat favor, R5? All right, there's these blast shields, like these red shields that I can't get through. Could you turn them off? And he's like, yeah, I got you, dog. And he starts like jetpacking down to this like platform where there's like a little scomp link, and he starts like doing the little scomp thing that like R2 does, or BD1, or most droids. Even Echo has it on his arm. So yeah, he starts doing the scomp link to deactivate the shields one by one, and this scene is sick. So he deactivates one by one, and then not Grogu, then starts fighting them like as the shields go off, and it's like, bro, this episode was beautifully directed when it comes to combat because it was so sick. Which, by the way, R5, while he's like doing the scompling thing, there's like these mouse droids. Which, by the way, I didn't know mouse droids were such ops. I thought they were just like little like floor cleaners. But so the little mouse droid comes up and it's like beep boop beep, and he's like, "Yo, back up!" And he like brings out his little electricity thing. R5 is, and he like scares him and he runs away. And you're like, "Yeah, fuck you, mouse droid, back up." I'm trying to be a snitch. I'm trying to be a op. And then we jump back to Axe Woves, who was flying up to go get reinforcements, right? And he finally makes it to the big, like, Imperial ship that they stole. He's telling all the Mandos, yo, listen, they're about to bomb this ship. You guys got to all get out, and I'll take him. I'll distract him. I'll stay on the ship while everybody goes away to to Bo-Katan, basically, on Mandalore to go help her out. While he takes the ship and distracts them and makes them think that there's mad Mandos on the ship, but actually it's just him. And so, dope ass. Like, I don't like this character, but that scene was really fucking dope. And you also get to see a bunch of Mandalorians like jump out of the like space and like jetpack into the atmosphere, get on the other ships, and I was like, yo, this scene is so fucking cool, bro. Like, we're finally get to see Mandalorians just be like straight badasses in live action, like no problem, and it's really sick to see. Then we got Axe Wolves in the ship, and he's like, which, by the way, I didn't know that. It's like, I don't know, it might be memory. If memory serves me right, I don't remember ever seeing like one person pilot such a big ship on their own, which is, I didn't think it was possible, but it was really cool. So that big Imperial ship, we got Axe like using the like blasters and like the guns on the ship and to try to defend himself from all the fighters that are like shooting him and bombing him, right? And it's like, oh, I didn't know that. Like, someone just straight from the captain's seat, he's like just straight shooting people. And I was like, I didn't know you could do that, which is really cool. So yeah, he's like sitting there, last stand type shit, like flying the ship down towards the planet while he's getting shot the fuck up. It's kind of like a suicide mission. You're like, yo, this guy's low-key kind of cool, bro. He's like sacrificing his life for the Mandos, where I thought he'd be like cowardly, but nah, he's just as sick as Paz was. So yeah. And now we're back to Mando, and he's taking out the guards in the shields. This is probably my favorite scene of the episode, where he's like taking out the guards on each little like barrier shield, and because he doesn't have a weapon, he has to get like creative, and he starts like using their weapons. He starts throwing their knives, using their blasters, using their like big shields. And so each time he gets to the shield, right, R5 has to like open the next one. And so like I think it's like either the last one or the like second to last one where he's like struggling. He's like, yo, open the gate, open it, please, like open the shield. And R5's like, yo, chill, bro, I'm dealing out here with the ops. So like that one mouse droid that he sent away earlier came back with like his homies. Like, and they're like, wee, like with sirens and shit. And I was like, ain't no way. I thought mouse droids were like just straight cleaners, but no, they're out here. They out here like snitching on people. And while he's taking everybody out, so Din picks up their weapons because he didn't have any, and he gets these cool like blasters that are like super strong. They're like revolver type shit. It makes him feel like a space cowboy type shit, and it's mad cool. So it's like walking around with 2 pistols now. And I was like, I fuck with this. He should be carrying around 2 pistols all the fucking time. And then from here we follow the pair into the next room, and this is the room where like in the last episode Gideon walks past and we see all these like vats of cloning, which I thought it was probably because he was trying to help revive Palpatine. But in this episode, later in the episode when they finally meet Gideon and Din, he explains that the clones were basically, well, one, they're clones of himself, right? But basically the clones were, he was trying to add force powers to his clones, so that way he would be perfect. He would be the perfect specimen it would be him, but as a clone, which, whatever. But yeah, so that's what he was doing. And so they like shut it down and they blow it up. And then later down the line, Gideon's like, you didn't even fucking let them like draw their first breath. And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. You were making Force clones because you didn't trust anyone that much that you fucking started making them by yourself. Like, how fucking self-centered can you be, bro? And then from here, we're going to go to, we go back to Bo-Katan and then her little sector of, like, Mandos running away. They find this weird, like, cave where there's, like, plants and, like shit's growing, right? Like, wildlife. And so she's like, oh, this is crazy. Not even, like, outside of the domes of the original Mandalore did any of the plants grow. And he's like, nah. Shit still flourishes, like we farm here. And from here, they all fly out of the cave where they were, where like the plants were, and you get the most. And they like rendezvous with the backup that the armorer got. And bro, this, when I tell you, this is the most badass fucking like flight battle scene, jetpack battle scene I've seen in Star Wars like ever, including the animated. Like, yo, she was out here slashing dudes with the Darksaber, Bo-Katan, and then the armor was out here with her tools, just bonking dudes, just bang, bang. I was like, yo, this shit is sick. And then we got cut to a scene of Mando finally arriving in like Gideon's like lair or like office type shit. And this is where he gives him the monologue of what he was making or creating. He was making like clones of himself who can isolate the Force and use it and wield it. But whatever, I don't give a fuck. Then they start fighting. This is a question, which, by the way, great fight, by the way. Awesome fight choreography. My question is to this, while they're fighting, why does it seem like this old-ass man all of a sudden has super strength? Like, why is the Beskar armor giving him this, like, super strength where he could, like, punch cracks into the floor and, like, throw Din Djarin around and shit like that? And I don't know. Maybe they explained it. I'm just dumb and I forgot, but I don't know. That shit like rubbed me the wrong way. But whatever. I'm going back to the fight, right? So Mando and Gideon are throwing the ones, right? And then all of a sudden, his 3 guards pull up, and I'm like, ain't no way they about to jump my man's. They start jumping him, but he's holding his own, low key holding his own. But they fighting it out, and I'm like, all right, okay, I see you. Eventually, he gets like dropped and like. He's getting like, he's on the floor getting stunned and like, you know, by their weapons. And then Grogu comes in to save his papa. And he's like, no, on the button. And then he runs away. And then they all start chasing, all the red guards start chasing Grogu. So then the 1v1 can still happen. So Grogu runs away into this room and they start like slashing at him. And Grogu's trying his best to like hold his own and like dodge and shit. They break his little robot. And then he jumps on the little, like, piping. And he's, like, running. It's mad cute. And they're, like, slashing at him and shit, trying to kill him. And then we, like, jump back and forth between this fight and the Gideon fight. But also, I really enjoyed the fact that, like, when Grogu's being chased away, like, Din is like, no. And he's, like, chasing after his son. And then he gets, like, roped by Gideon. So he couldn't, like, you know, chase him. So the fight between Gideon and Din are happening, and we're cutting between that fight and the like air fight that I was talking about earlier with the armorer and all the Mandalorians sick. And then Gideon gets the upper hand in their fight, and then he's like, oh fuck. And then Bo-Katan comes in with a jetpack and just like slams Gideon. He's like, go save your kid. And he's like, I got you. And then they start fucking going back and forth, but Din goes to go save Grogu. He comes in, guns are blazing with the 2 like revolvers, just boom, boom, boom. And the fight is so fucking sick, right? And so they're fighting for a bit. And what I like is that like in this fight, Grogu and Din, it's like the first time they like actually team up for a fight. Like usually every fight they're in, Grogu just like stops it or like lifts it with the Force. But this time it's really cool because he's like shooting and dodging, and Grogu's like pushing him and pulling weapons and stopping weapons from coming in. And shit was really sick seeing them team up to fight everybody, right? So sick ass scene. And then we also jumped to the Bo-Katan fighting Moff Gideon scene, and she like pulls out the Darksaber and he pulls out this like electro staff that some of the Praetorian guards usually have. And they start going at it, like back and forth, and then they stop the fight. They start talking about the dark saber again. Gideon's like, "Yo, give me the dark saber, surrender it," and she's like, basically, no. She like charges him, and then all of a sudden, he said he wanted the dark saber, right? But then when she charges at him and stops him, he breaks it, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" Yeah, broke the fucking dark saber, which again, what gave this old ass man super strength to be able to just crush a whole Beskar hill, like lightsaber hill? That's insane to me. Where's this coming from? This is nuts. But yeah, also while they're fighting, we got Axe Woves in that ship, and he's like suicide bomb. And he's like, I'm gonna crash it into the base. So he's like fucking diving down, straight down. And I was thinking, oh damn, we're really about to lose Paz and Axe Wolves this season. Like, that's nuts. So yeah, he crashes the giant ship into the base, but he like shoots a little rocket at the window and like flies out before it hits. That's what I'm saying. So I thought he was gonna die, but he didn't. But Paz did die, so rest in peace to the goat. So he crashes the ship and then blows up, and then the fire engulfs Gideon, and Gideon dies. Really weird way to go, by the way, because in Breaking Bad, his character dies the same way. So yeah, we finally get rid of Gideon, and so and then Grogu does like a force bubble and saves Din and Bo-Katan because they're like literally right next to the fire. So yeah, Grogu saves them. And then from here, we're going to jump to the scene, like the end scene type shit where Paz Vizsla, the big guy, Big Mando, his son is getting the baptism to finally be, I don't know, like a full-blooded Mandalorian, I guess. Basically, like, taking on his clans, like, he's, like, the head of the clan type shit now. She, like, pours water on him, on his helmet, I should say, in the living waters, and then walks up and is like, I want Grogu to, do the same ceremony because he wants him to be his apprentice instead of a foundling. And then she was like, well, he can't take the creed because he still can't talk. And he was like, what if he has permission from his parent? And he's like, well, his parents are either dead or who knows where. And he's like, well, I'm adopting him. And I was like, bro, stop playing with me, bro. This is so fucking cute. I started crying in that scene, bro. He adopted him. Dude's like, that's my boy, bro. I was like, that's mad fucking cute. So from here forth, his name is Din Grogu. That's mad cute. He got a full name now. And then Bo-Katan is handed a torch. I guess it looks like a torch, to light the the Great Forge. And it's this beautiful ceremony of Mandos clanking their little gauntlets together, signifying that they're, finally gonna hopefully stick together instead of always fighting. And then from here, we're going to the same bar that we've seen a few times in this season, back to the Rebel pilots. And then Din is basically being like, hey, yo, I'm free now, bro. And it seems like y'all can't handle y'all shit. So if you need a bounty hunter, I'm the one, bro. I'm the one, my guy. Right? And he's like, all right, like, sure. I would take the deal. He's like, what do you want for it? And he's like, I just want the head of that IG, like, droid that's in the bar. And he's like, well, okay, the fuck? And then he's like, why? He's like, because Grogu, that's his friend. He sees it as a friend. He thinks it's a friend. So then he takes that head and then heads back to Navarro and gives it to the little dudes that make the droids. And they make the same little dudes who made the little droid mech for Grogu. And they remake IG-11, and now he's the marshal for Navarro, and that was a really cool ending. Which, by the way, what's his name? Grief Karga gave him like a little set of keys. He has his own crib at Navarro now, and at the end of the show, it shows them just like chilling at home with Grogu, like little levitating a frog and shit with the Force. What a great ending to a show. This season was okay. Like, I don't think it was better than the first two. The season finale for me was great. I think this episode really brought it home. But there was a lot of fluff and filler that I don't really care for, at least for me. if you enjoyed it, more power to you. I won't take that away from you. So yeah, that is thank you guys for joining me. Thank you guys for listening to every one of my minis up until the season finale. I would give this episode a 9.5, I guess, out of 10. And yeah, go make sure to listen to us on YouTube Shorts, TikTok. Follow us on TikTok. Follow us on Instagram, Idle Talk Pod. And yeah, peace. Love you guys.